Welcome to another episode of our Midweek Conversation at First Baptist Sweetwater, where we strive to be the first responders of God's love. My name is Jerry Hendricks, and I'm back from 2 weeks of camp with my good friend T. Hamilton, and this is P3 week.
It is P3 week, and it's been an interesting week.
Yeah, always challenges, even when don't have the threat of rain or storm.
Right.
But the cool weather last night was a blessing.
It was, and the rain held off.
Yep, it did. And
no lightning.
I think except for people who maybe thought it might rain and didn't come out.
Yeah.
We had good representation at all of our P3 locations. So we're off and running and just waiting to see how the weather develops today and tomorrow. I think Thursday's fine. But anyway, I was thinking, Teak, great job Sunday.
Thanks.
Teak, for those of you that don't know, Teak really takes charge of that P3 Sunday and develops that from start to finish, basically. And good job, and appreciate the way that you shared, not just in a message, but also about elements of P3. I thought it was, and I don't know how many years we've been doing the P3 Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Did it start with the science edition?
That's one of the first I remember, because there's science and the investigative one.
I think it was my favorite one, and I probably don't say that every year.
Oh, okay.
But I felt like every segment of it had really leveled up, and it was just it was a good Sunday.
It was good. It was a lot of fun.
So,
well, no, it's more fun now that it's over.
Okay, so Teak, I ask you often if you stress, and you really don't stress.
No.
But did you stress about this?
Not until about 5 minutes before I went up on stage.
Okay.
And then that just kind of wears me out.
There's a few things I've learned that do trigger something that I would call stress, even though you tend to power through it real well.
That's one of them.
Yeah, good job. Well, I was just thinking, it was cool seeing Heather Caballero up there and hearing her story about how she was first involved at P3.
Right, and seeing her pictures.
Yeah, and her pictures out of the archives. That was classic. That was a really good move right there.
She was totally surprised that I still had that picture.
Yeah. So but the other thing I was thinking of is when you think back on all the P3s that you've been a part of, and this is my 7th.
Right.
What's one of your favorite moments?
There's a lot of them, but definitely last year's a highlight with the two chefs, Chef Janice and Chef Judy. That was one of my favorite parts. I loved watching them put it together, and they did good. They did really good.
And I found myself. I agree. I think that was one of the. I may have started fast forwarding to their part and then rewinding and participating in the rest of the P3. But I was always looking forward to seeing what they were going to say, and I was looking forward to the joke of the day.
Right. Yeah,
or two or three.
I thought they could come back this year and help again and be on P3 Sunday.
Right.
But then I remembered the last time I had an open flame in worship, I set a tablecloth on fire. So I decided maybe cooking in church wasn't a good idea.
That setting the tablecloth on fire is a recent and well-embedded memory for you.
Yes, that's, at least nothing caught fire when I preached this week.
This is true. But Chef Janice and Judy, that was a good segment. That would be in our Facebook archives somehow, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. There in YouTube, probably.
Okay. Yeah. It's worth going back and checking out some of those.
Last year's P3, any of the episodes.
That's great. And so I was thinking, well, for me, and I've already shared this in staff meeting today, one of the things that I learned, I guess my second year here, was how exciting it is to see people who've joined our church within the last year step up into leadership in their first P3 experience with us.
And really get to understand better who we are, but we also get to understand better who they are. Because you really don't know somebody until you've experienced them at P3.
Exactly.
Then you know them.
Yeah, and the other thing, even though we've scaled back like most everything right now, we're in 3 locations, but at every location there was new people. There were new people.
Right, new people, not just kids but adults too, and you really get to know who's really committed because they will wear their shirt every day, their P3 shirt, and by Thursday, if you haven't washed it, you are committed. It's
the Hendricks family P3 routine. We wash our shirts every day. Now, I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to didn't wash it today.
It was nice and cool yesterday.
Cool. So, but that, as well as, and I shared this with you in staff meeting, seeing students who were kids in P3 when I first came here.
Right.
Now they're leading segments.
Yeah, that's part of the Heather Caballero story. That
Right.
first meet her 2010 P3. Now she's leading at a P3 at Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, it's just crazy, but it is it's more than a tradition here. It's really one of those defining roles or defining moments for us as a church as we reach out, and then as we've seen even our own families grow and develop more and more those kids involved in the P3 weeks. So a lot of fun last night traveling around. That's what Teek and I do. Teek, Lisa, and I do during P3 is we hit each of the locations. It was a little more challenging when there were 5.
Right.
I don't think
I didn't get everyone every night when there were 5.
Yeah, I forget how.
3 though
we
was
did
pretty
that.
easy. 30, 30, 30.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if the directors see us pull up and they're like, "Dang it," because they know how we're probably not going to bring order to the P3. We're going to end up causing more problems than help, and they're probably just glad we're not all 3 together.
Not even. I don't think it's even the adults. I was called a troublemaker by a child yesterday.
Who was it?
My good buddy Rhett.
Well, there you go.
Here comes the troublemaker. I just died laughing, man.
That sounds about right.
Oh, those guys.
And he didn't even see you Sunday morning when you went across to be right in front of the girls who were leading Jesus Loves Me.
Yeah, and that song, I didn't know that they're going to change it up in the middle of it. I'm not that familiar with that song.
Oh, okay.
I kept the rhythm really well, and I was trying to distract the girls just a bit. Or maybe, yeah, I was trying to distract them and having fun with it. And then they switched on it, and then I was lost. Once you get into the other elements of it, past the first verse or two, I'm gone. I'm done. Can't keep up with the motions.
The kids know it. They love it. It's good.
I don't know what's coming. But, yeah, it was great. I was at Eastridge last night when they did the music segment, and it's really fun. First of all, seeing Jenny's leading the music segment out there, and then all these kids singing songs. It was really fun.
I didn't get to see music. I caught the end of Bible story. Didn't see memory verse because everybody was rushing to get in case the weather hit.
Right.
And so where I started, and then I get over next, so I caught the end of Bible study. Then they went to the game. I missed the meal at almost every place, but I still ate at every place. So,
okay.
Thank you, Sharon, for the pizza rolls.
Yeah, just another thing that has emerged. It was the science year. Maybe it was the science year that. Well, it was whenever we saw Daryl Doggett doing the teaching.
That was 213 Science.
With a lab coat and all that stuff. Well, I guess I bridged a part. I didn't calculate my time very well last night. First time out, I wasn't paying attention. But so I got a part of the music, and then the Bible story, and then the start of rec, and then decided to move on. But Daryl did the story out there, and we landed him as a regular teacher on Sundays, or you did.
Yeah.
After that, so learn a lot about folks and their skill development through that.
Yeah, and Jessica Smith leading the games, and she brings her own whistle.
Yeah, she was serious.
I mean, we probably need to draft her for camp.
Well, I think I need to wait. I need to be sure and hit her segment. I want to see her in full charge there.
She had a whistle that counts.
Yeah, and the rec gear this year, this big volleyball looking thing, it's oversized. Great fun, great buy at Academy apparently.
Kids loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too.
I got some great pictures of that. I sat down and they played around me, and I got some great pictures of kids hitting that.
Oh, and the other thing is the first time kids. That I don't know if this is Sawyer's first time necessarily.
I bet it is.
He might have just been kind of hanging out with family as they led, but he was in the circle when I got to their location.
He sat by Robert Moore, and Robert Moore needed a friend, so that was good.
Okay, I'll just leave.
He told Robert that he's shy, and Robert said, "Well, you can sit with me," and they had a ball. And then he played the game with that giant volleyball thing, and he was having a blast.
Well, I just noticed something. A lot of shout-outs in this segment.
Yeah, because another shout-out, Martha Espinoza. First time P3, and usually you ease into P3 and you lead a group around, things like that. she's leading the craft last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a little more difficult when you got Eli taking pictures and giving you a hard time while you're doing it. So, I mean, that's what I would do to Stacy, so Eli does it to Martha.
True, it's true.
So, but no, it was good.
Well, it's a fun week. It's. I think the other fun part is that it's in some part of the evolution of the evening all throughout the day. I mean, Stacy and Rand have been here preparing their stuff today and getting things ready, and so it's always something fun going on throughout the office. Well, but back to your message on Sunday, two things that stood out. One is how we ought to be praying for the week. And I had an epiphany while you said that, or when you said that I set my alarm for 3 p.m. for 3P, P3, yeah.
Nice.
It is a little dyslexic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Then I understand it completely. And so 3 p.m. my alarm goes off, and that's my time to pray for the week and for the all that's going on, the kids, the locations, leaders. And so I encourage our folks to do the same.
Yep.
And maybe if you're hearing this today, you'll do that as well, as we remember to pray for that. And then the other one was service that we've already talked about. A lot of the people that have gotten involved in what we do here, even they may not have a great understanding of it yet. It doesn't take long to capture it.
Right. And if there's a week that you're, like, if there's a year that you might be worried, if you're worried about being too hot, this is the year to come out and check out P3.
Yeah.
Because it was great.
Well, and we talk every year how it's you start off strong, and as each day evolves, you kind of, the fatigue kind of creeps up on you. But a lot of that is just the heat.
Yes, it just sucks it out of you. But yesterday,
it was beautiful last night.
I loved it.
Well, Sunday we come back into our series of messages. I'll be talking about David. I'll be here on July 4th, and you here?
I'm here.
Okay. We'll have a few folks here. We'll have a good time of worship, and we'll be talking about David again, and continue with that series throughout the rest of the summer until we wrap that up around the time the school starts.
I'll be in charge of pyrotechnics this Sunday, July 4th, in the worship center. So,
and we appreciate that. We appreciate. Oh, I see what you did there.
You go.
Okay, I was a little slow.
It'll be lit.
I see what you did there. Yeah. So if I walk in and see 50 candles lit on the altar table, then
there'll be Roman candles.
I better get ready. Well, we thank you guys for listening this week, letting us bring up some memories and thoughts about the significance of the P3 week for us, which is really, I guess in some ways, I try to say this because most people don't know what P3 means, and even when you tell them what it stands for, there's not a context. But it's our version of Vacation Bible School, but we take it to the neighborhoods.
Right.
And so it's a fun week for us, and we've enjoyed sharing a few stories today and some of the special things. And we look forward to seeing more of those stories develop as we meet each night, and hope that you'll come out maybe and visit one of the sites and join us. So in the meantime, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday and letting us be a part of your worship.
See you then.